watching Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, the big man, Derrick Henry, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, this is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
Just 3 weeks of games left in the NFL regular season. What's it going to take for him to win the MVP? What's it going to take?
Whatever it is, if he wants to strengthen that candidacy, no time like the present.
Yeah, and let me tell you what I think. Not only does he have to play the clean game, no picks, things of that nature, he has to have at least one significant play that we'll talk about all next week. That'll really give him a higher profile.
Check, block 54, block 54. Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. Out. He's crashing. He's checking down.
Rodgers now on first down. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. 5 yards on the game's first play. Second down. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
It's tough to be an offensive lineman in Green Bay because their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, knows how to keep plays alive and often extends them for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. But David Bakhtiari, his left tackle, he does it as well as anyone could ever expect. Excellent footwork. Knows that the plays are going to stay alive for a long time. Often will get 2 or 3 blocks on the same play.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ahkello Witherspoon. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. A first down carry for Henry. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Garoppolo finding his tight end, Kittle. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And now Garoppolo lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, and that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So this is they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
That's about what you would expect. They're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check.
On 1st down, Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 5 catches, 89 yards, and a touchdown.
Having a nice season. Number 8 in the league in receiving yards, and not just making his team happy, but anyone who's picked him in fantasy football.
Now it's Rodgers, and this one complete to Smith. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
I I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Working from the gun. Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down. They gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
They'll go with Jones. Jones hit, and the ball's out. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers getting set to trot out there and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go. Like 20.
Watch the curl.
From the 27, Garoppolo. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Here we go. 180.
Right here.
Get hot.
3 down.
On 1st down, Henry. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Throwing his Garoppolo on 3rd down. He finds McKinnon, complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Out comes Davante Adams in the offense for their next drive. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So
now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Dee Ford has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yard. Not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Steps away. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
All day, defense, all day. We are going. Check three.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Looking deep for Adams. And this will be caught at the 30. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, 81 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just... took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Crosby with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Play action. Garoppolo. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
Here we go.
They'll run on first down. It's Henry. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 18 yards, first down Niners. And we were down on the field watching Henry warm up before the game. He's a big man. No wonder he breaks those tackles.
And you remember what I told you when we were watching? It's not all pads. And you get him out of pads and just see him in a regular suit or an outfit. He is a huge human being and a lot faster than what people know. When he gets rolling, he's a lot to bring down.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. George Kittle, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Bailey got the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. The tackle there by Richard Sherman.
But I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They lost 4 there, and it's third down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
To throw on third down, Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
I absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. From the gun on third, Garoppolo. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Fielded at the 33. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. To throw again on second down. Rodgers. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Draw play. This is Henry. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's in. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. A dump down to McKinnon. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play there just before halftime. And even 60 yards. Touchdown, Packers. Jonnu Smith as time expires in the first half. The Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Now Crosby for the point after. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll get our tour started out at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And it's the Cardinals who are out in front as that game draws closer to halftime. Christian Kirk, a touchdown reception. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. The Jaguars trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And at the half, they have the lead over the visiting Titans. Quincy Enunwa, a touchdown catch in that first half. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Garoppolo now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there are certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nick Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for the... And a big loss here as he's taken down. Nick Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Pettis hauling this in from Garoppolo. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Check four.
On first down, Henry. Preston Smith there on the stop.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
2nd down, McKinnon. And an alley to run. And he's got this down to the 35. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. He'll step aside. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On play action. Now Garoppolo. Man open. It's Goodwin. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
Come on, man. Let's go.
And, Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the 22, Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. This from 44 yards away. Back now at Lambeau. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Rodgers now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. It's Williams. Williams loses the football, and now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not down in the 4th. A throw left side to start out, that's complete. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal, don't necessarily need a touchdown. Looking to throw again on second down. Garoppolo. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Garoppolo gets this one to Juszczyk. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Davante Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. A chance here on this drive to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark.
Throw him the ball. Throw him the ball. Forget analysis, all right? Let's just root a little bit here. Get him the football and get past that 200-yard mark.
Boy, you want that. You seem excited.
I know, and it's really weird because normally I want guys to intercept the ball.
Right.
All right? I want them to knock it down. In this case, he's been fun to watch.
The former DB rooting for the wide receivers. The drive starts with a completion left side. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On the ground, this is Williams. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Rodgers going to throw, and Adams has it complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open.
And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Draw play. Here's the fullback. It's Juszczyk. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Here we go, here we go.
Second and 5 now. Garoppolo. Catch is made by Hurd. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
There's Garoppolo on first and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is caught at the 20. A big play there for the Niners. 41 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, second and 15. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He completes it to Henry. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to make it third down and 10. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end zone.
And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Now, last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So, in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Watch the twist.
Now Rodgers. Blitz coming, and down he goes. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Rodgers. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. So So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 4 down, check, 4 down.
The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
We got 3.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Packers, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.